What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Lovers. And yes, my video about the Sun Belt Conference Tournament did come out already earlier on the channel, but you are getting two videos today. One at 4 o'clock and then one at 12, I believe. But first, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're just going to go ahead and hop into these SEC predictions. It is the last week of the regular season, meaning Saturday is the last day for Auburn to hopefully secure a bid into the NCAA tournament without having to do much in the SEC tournament, which will be next week as well. But it is almost tournament time, so we're going to predict these games, and then we'll go ahead and talk about what to expect from the SEC tournament afterwards. But obviously, let's like and subscribe, please. It would help the channel out a lot. Let's just go ahead and hop into it. All right, so game number one on Tuesday, February 28th. You got Georgia taking on Florida. I believe Florida is going to win this game after this bounce-back week that they had against Vandy. They took a tough loss at Vandy, but I believe Florida is the better team here, and I believe that Florida will get the dub on the road against Georgia. Moving on, you have A&M going into Ole Miss. A&M is the better team. They're a top 25 team, second in the conference. Obviously, the top two seeds in the SEC have been locked. They're ready to go. Alabama and A&M can only get those two spots, but it just means that A&M doesn't really have much to play for. Still, I'm going to pick A&M because they're the better team on the road. They don't have a whole lot to play for SEC seeding-wise, but NCAA tournament-wise, they got a lot to play for. A&M gets the dub on the road. Moving on, South Carolina going into Mississippi State. This is going to be a close back-and-forth game, but I have South Carolina prevailing on the road. 3 road teams so far taking the dub. Obviously, the fourth one we'll talk about in a minute. But I do have South Carolina taking the dub on the road against State. State's been struggling. South Carolina has been hot going into the year, or going towards the end of the year. I expect that to continue, and going into the SEC tournament, expect South Carolina to make some noise in the SEC tournament as well. South Carolina gets the dub on the road. And moving on to the final game on Tuesday, we have Tennessee hosting Arkansas. Now, Arkansas almost beat Alabama this past weekend, and I do not expect that to continue for Arkansas this weekend. This week, I expect Tennessee to come out hot from this past weekend and just keep the ball rolling for the SEC tournament and against us when they play us on Saturday. Expect Tennessee to take the dub at home against Arkansas on Tuesday night. Moving on to the Wednesday games, 3 Wednesday games, then we'll go ahead and get into the Saturday games, and then we'll talk about what to expect for the SEC tournament. But the 3 Wednesday games are going to be Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and LSU and Missouri. We'll go ahead and predict them right now. I hate to pick against the Auburn Tigers, but I think Alabama's going to win this game at home. It's not going to be as close as the first match was, even though the scorecard did not look like what it said what was played. I still think Alabama's the better team. They're the best team in the state, and I expect that to continue this week as they host Auburn, and I expect Auburn to go down with another loss going into the SEC tournament play, which will knock them under the top 4, hopefully getting that double bye, but I just doubt it. Moving on in Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Kentucky had that blowout against us right here, which was not fun to watch if you are an Auburn fan. I expect Kentucky to continue the same types of things going when they host Vanderbilt on Wednesday night, and I expect that to continue Wednesday night. Kentucky gets the dub against Vanderbilt. Moving on to the final game on Wednesday, then we'll talk about the Saturday games. LSU hosting Missouri. LSU did win a game this weekend, which was very shocking, but I just expect Missouri to come out, show why they're the better team, and I expect Missouri to take the win against an LSU Tigers team who is struggling. They've struggled at home and on the road. They can't close out games. Expect Missouri to take the dub here. And now we're going to predict the Saturday games, the final regular season games. We're just going to go ahead and predict them, and we cannot wait for March Madness and tournament time. There are a ton of SEC games to go ahead and predict. Tennessee Auburn being one of them. Alabama A&M being another one. That's the first game of the week. It's on CBS. Alabama going into Texas A&M. This could be a battle for the number 1 seed in the SEC if Auburn somehow upsets Alabama. But if they do, I expect Alabama to come out hot. I still expect Alabama to come out hot. Take the dub on the road against a tough A&M environment to play in. Expect it to be close, but I just think Alabama is the better team. They will get the dub. Moving on, Georgia and South Carolina. Now, Georgia will be coming off a loss against Florida if my predictions stand corrected. And I expect their loss to continue against a home winning streak team, South Carolina. Expect that to continue as well. Moving on, Arkansas, Kentucky, one of a good regular season finales. It's going to be one of the better games. Arkansas and Kentucky, I expect Kentucky to completely win this game. Obviously, Kentucky has been cooking with gas since these last couple of weeks. I expect that to continue on the road against Arkansas. Expect Kentucky to get the dub on the road against Arkansas, but it be by 1 or 2 points, very, very, very close. If you're a Kentucky fan, it's going to be a nail-biter. Moving on, Auburn and Tennessee. This is the 1 o'clock game on ESPN. Primetime game. Auburn needs to get this dub. I expect us to get the dub against Tennessee. 1, it's at home, and 2, we almost beat them on the road, which we should have beaten, dang refs. But I expect Auburn to take the dub at home against Tennessee, who will be coming off of a win, but much needed win against a quad win team. Last game of the year. Expect them to show why Auburn is Auburn and get the dub at home. Moving on, Ole Miss and Missouri. I expect Missouri to take the dub here at home. Missouri's the better team. Ole Miss has been struggling lately. Those are my reasons why I think Missouri is going to win at home. Moving on, we have LSU and Florida. This is going to be a close game back and forth, but I expect Florida to get the win at home against LSU, as LSU does struggle a lot on the road, and they also have been on that losing grind as well. Florida takes the dub. Moving on to the final SEC game of the year, regular season-wise. Vanderbilt is hosting Mississippi State. Mississippi State is going to be coming off a win, but I think Vanderbilt is going to prevail here, and Vanderbilt is going to take the dub to close out the SEC regular season. But that is going to be all for today's video. Let me know what you thought of the SEC predictions in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the predictions in the comments down below. I cannot wait to watch this final weekend of SEC basketball. 3 really, really good games in the SEC, and I'm sure there are going to be a ton around the nation as well. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.